Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to Pageant Live. I'm Stephanie McGrain and I'm so excited to have the beautiful ladies of the Miss VietFest pageant joining me tonight. They're going to help us kick off the brand new season of Pageant Live and I'm so excited for you to meet them. I love these ladies. So let's meet them now, and Cindy, let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Cindy Lay. I am Miss Photogenic VietFest 2014.
Welcome, Cindy. So glad to have you. And next, let's meet you, Sherry.
Hi, my name is Sherry Nguyen. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I am the second runner-up of the Miss VietFest pageant. Nice to meet you guys.
So glad to have you. Natasha, let's meet you next.
Good evening. My name is Natasha Nguyen. I'm first princess of the Miss VietFest 2014.
So happy to have you. And Aiden, let's meet you.
Hello everyone. My name is Aiden Nguyen. I'm Miss VietFest 2014. Thank you for having me here.
So happy to have you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Excited to have you for our first show of the brand new season. Okay, so now meeting you ladies, your system was new to me. And so I know a lot of our viewers who will be watching want to know more about the Miss VietFest system. So Aiden, give us a little bit more information about your pageant.
So our pageant was created to not only embrace our own heritage, but also to empower Vietnamese women. And we look for more than just outer beauty. We look for intelligence, grace, poise, and it's also a scholarship pageant which gives the girls a stepping stone to go into the business world and have social connections or whatever that they need in order to grow further in the future.
I love what your pageant focuses on. Now, so what exactly is your mission?
Our mission is to, first of all, to first empower women to embrace our heritage and most importantly, to bring the Vietnamese community together and to share our heritage with not only among our community but to reach out to others as well.
Well, I love that. And now, Sherry, tell us a little bit more. We know about your system, we know about the mission, but what are the areas of competition that you ladies had to compete in?
Okay, well, the first part of the competition, we had, instead of just coming out introducing ourselves, we actually, I thought it was interesting because we all did a dance together, and it was fun because it brought all the girls together, and it was something that we practiced and we worked on really hard. Obviously, it was harder for some girls than others, but it kind of brought us together, you know. We became sisters through that way, and so then after the dance, we had our ao dai, which is our traditional dress. And then we would walk to the end of the stage and introduce ourselves to the audience and the judges, and then give one interesting fact about ourselves. And actually, Aiden was actually my favorite because hers was the most unique because she was telling about her comic writing or comic story writing. And then we had the evening gown. And that was just to show our more, I guess, elegant and softer side. And then after that, the most important part of the competition was talking about our proverbs, which are Vietnamese phrases that have a close meaning to our heart. And we all got to individually choose and prepare ahead of time, and then explain to the audience. And that part of the competition was basically to embrace our cultures. And not only that, it also showed the individualism of every girl. After that, our top 6 were chosen. There were 12 girls, so half of the girls were chosen, and then those girls were to answer questions which were chosen beforehand. We would just pick them out randomly.
Now, Sherry, tell us, what was your proverb?
My proverb was, in English translation, it was, hold on, I need a second to think about this. It's been a while. Basically, to not forget where you come from, and I think it's something that the Vietnamese culture really, really want to highlight, emphasize on, and I think that's what VietFest is all about, is remembering the water in which the water you're drinking came from. It's kind of hard to translate in English, word for word, but basically just to not forget your roots and your family and the people who've been there for you.
I love that. I love the proverb area of competition. I would love to hear everybody's proverb. But I want to back up for just a second and ask you about the traditional dress. So how does the traditional dress, how is that different than an evening gown? And tell us a little bit more about your traditional dress. I guess for most of us who've never seen the pageant, or maybe might not know a lot about what your traditional dress looks like.
Okay, well, the traditional dress is called an ao dai, and the amazing thing about it is it covers everything but doesn't hide anything. So, and I can show you. I have one right here. So it's just a long dress that is very fitting to a woman's body, and it's made to bring out the best features of a woman's body, but at the same time it's not seductive or provocative in any way, and it's just really, do you see it? Can you guys see it well?
Ooh, that's gorgeous. I love it.
Yeah, this is actually one of my favorite ones. I wore it for my very first television interview, and it was actually the interview on SBTN. I know a lot of Vietnamese, if you guys are watching, you guys probably have it. And it was my first TV interview, and it was for Miss VietFest. So this ao dai actually is very sentimental to me. And it comes in like all different kinds of colors and designs, and a lot of Vietnamese designers now are creating like modern ao dais. So yeah. You see what I mean when I said it covers everything but doesn't hide anything?
I do, and that's gorgeous. I love it. So for future competitors, if you are going to be competing in the traditional dress, how is that something, do you design your own, or where do you find these designers? Where would you buy a traditional dress? We competed in the Northern Virginia area, and if you have been in Northern Virginia, you'll know that there are a lot of Asian Americans, and so there are actually a lot of Vietnamese American designers there, and we have this little area called the Eden Center, and there is actually an ao dai shop there, and this woman, she's really amazing. I actually met her before, and she designs ao dais for everybody, and I think one of the girls from the pageant actually got her ao dai design from there. Okay, one more question. So if you are wearing a traditional dress for just any type of event or family function versus one that you're wearing in a pageant, is it going to be the same, or would it be a little bit different if you are competing, say, in the pageant? Would you have it altered a little bit differently? Is there any sort of difference in that?
The awesome thing about ao dais is you could wear the most simple, like just white, elegant ao dai, and it would still look glamorous on stage. It's something that you can just wear to church, but at the same time you can go on stage and just rock it. And I think that's something that is so unique about my ethnicity's traditional dress, is it can be worn to just you know, to a family event, but then you can also wear it on stage and rock it. Like, I know Natasha, her aoyai was absolutely gorgeous. It was just this long, it had this tail, and tails, you know, the aoyai tails are actually really popular right now. Usually the tails are short just because it hits right where your ankle hits, and then it would just, it's easier to walk around in. But now they have like longer tails, and I think those are the ones that, I guess, if you wanted to go on stage and compete in a pageant, those are the ones that you would aim for. But if you were just to wear a normal aoyai, like a traditional simple dress, it would also be fitting. So you can go in a lot of different directions as far as aoyais go.
Well, I saw a lot of pictures during the pageant, and you ladies all rocked it. You look gorgeous, gorgeous.
Thank you.
Aww.
And now, Cindy, I need to ask. I know that you are the Photogenic Winner, and this I thought was very interesting. Now, the Photogenic Winner has a very important role within the Miss VietFest system. So tell us a little bit more about that and how you really pull in the public.
Well, we are on Facebook, so that's a way of showing all the Facebook community about our event. And each of the girls had a face and body shot posted on Facebook, and who, I guess, people, if they like their picture, they like the photo, and whoever has the most likes wins. And people, like friends and family, sees this and they vote and they tell others about it, and everyone just goes on, and they come to VietFest to support all the girls as well.
See, I love that. And usually in a pageant, a more traditional pageant to me, you know, they announce a Photogenic Winner, and that's kind of the end of that. But I love that you are part of the Royal Court and making appearances, and I love that it's not just Miss VietFest, but you girls together. Is sisterhood, promoting the system, the pageant, and really getting the word out there. Love it, love it. Well, now, Natasha, let me ask you, I know you girls are very busy making appearances, so what types of things are you doing to bring awareness about your system to the public?
So I believe Liz is trying to like have us go to other like community and other cultures events and stuff. Like 2 weeks ago I went to an Asian festival, which is not only Vietnamese, but it's like Cambodia, Thailand, China. It's all the different Asian communities, and so I made an appearance there, and I saw other pageant holders such as Miss Philippine Teen, I believe, and Miss Cambodia Teen. So that was really nice to see like other communities and other culture come together. And then this past weekend, Sherry, Aiden, and I went out to Eden Center to support the Miss Vietnam DC pageant, which is kind of like ours, but it's like Vietnam DC. And so it was nice to see all the girls compete, because we were like, oh, we were there like them like a month ago on stage, all nervous. And so it was nice to like go out and see like other pageant girls and like make an appearance and stuff like that.
So over the course of your year reigning, how many appearances do you think that you will end up making? Because I know when I was talking to you last online, it seemed like you were doing a lot of talking about upcoming appearances. And so it sounds like you're very busy, and I love that. I love to see queens rocking those crowns and getting out there and making those appearances.
Well, this past weekend, I did 3 with Sherry and Aiden, so we're hoping to do more with like other communities, such as maybe just not only like Vietnamese community, but Miss Pacific Asian Americans coming up. So hopefully we can all go to that. And we hope to, because one of my questions for my top 6 Q&A question was, what would you do to broaden knowledge about Miss VietFest and VietFest in general to other communities? And I was like, wow, that's perfect, because that's what we're doing right now, is just to bring more knowledge to other pageants and that take Miss VietFest to the next level.
And you girls are definitely doing that. There's nothing good about seeing a queen who has won a crown and then it just sits on her shelf and collects dust. So I love that you're out there working and doing so many things. Okay, and another cool thing about your system, and Aiden, let me ask you this. When I was looking at the pictures of you ladies being crowned, I also saw the pictures of the male winners. You also have a male pageant. Oh my goodness, we have to get them on Pageant Live for an interview. But Aiden, tell us about this.
It's so exciting because I started pageant a night before ours. It was kind of good to see, hey, now finally the males will know what it's like to be in our shoes, right? Except, lucky for them, they didn't have to be in high heels, but we did. I wish they had to be in high heels. But so I saw the boys. They were a little nervous, surprisingly, but we were kind of cute because, you know, I didn't think they were gonna be nervous. But I knew that they had to walk up, introduce themselves, tell a little bit about themselves to the audience. They didn't have to do a proverb like we did, but they had a talent portion, which was pretty interesting. I remember one of the contestants. He went on stage and he did a comedic kind of pun. He was like, "So I'm a really sweet guy," and then he took sugar and started pouring it all over himself. So I was just like in the audience cheering for them. So it was really cute. Like they were singing, dancing. Some did martial arts. Basically, they just did whatever they thought that would represent what a male model, Vietnamese male model, should be like. And I thought it was interesting to see.
I love it. I think there needs to be way more male pageants than what we have. So do you ladies make appearances together with the male winners?
We don't do that as often as we should. We should bring them all together, like all of us together, and just have another Google Hangout like this.
We see them everywhere, though. We do see them a lot.
Yeah, we do. We run into each other a lot.
As well.
So they're busy too. They do make a lot of appearances as well.
I believe it's also because they're in school. Like a lot of us are in college away, so we're like out of town, so it's hard for us to all come together unless it's like the weekend or something. Like this past weekend, a lot of us were there, so it's kind of hard, yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, Cindy, let me ask you, now, competing in the Miss VietFest pageant, what have you learned from the system? What have you taken away most that's very important to you?
What have I taken away? What do you mean?
Well, what did you find most fulfilling or rewarding or something that's very meaningful to you?
I used to be very shy, so being in pageant, being on stage, and like going through the whole experience gave me self-confidence, and it helped me grow socially and culturally, because I guess in the Vietnamese culture, we're all the same, but I feel like some of us are different as well, and meeting the girls and then finding out that their culture is a little different than ours, it's just fun finding out other stuff about other people.
Well, Sherry, what have you learned?
I actually didn't. I never thought myself. Actually, I did do pageants when I was younger. When I was 13, I did a couple, but you know, I was kind of shy. And I'm going into this, it actually opened a huge opportunity for me. And I just, I'm actually competing in another pageant in January. So it just inspired me to do a lot. But I think the biggest thing is making new friends, and actually all of my closest friends, ironically enough, and I did not plan this out, all ended up in the top 6. It was the weirdest thing ever. But I don't know, I guess everything happens for a reason.
That's right, I agree. And Natasha, what has been your favorite part of the Miss VietFest pageant?
The pageant itself, I loved like having, even though they were like tiring, I love having rehearsals and practice every weekend, because it's like you get to see all your girls again, and like we always took like cute pictures, and it was just nice like getting to know everyone. more each week, and so I ended up making like some really like close sisterhoods that I think will last a long time.
Excellent. Love to hear that. Aiden, what about you?
What is my favorite part of the pageant, or what have I taken away from it?
You can tell me either or, whatever you feel like telling the viewers.
Okay, my favorite part of the pageant, I think, was the Q&A, because I watched the pageant before, and as I was sitting in the audience and these girls were being thrown questions on the spot, I was like, wow, what would I have answered to that? And a lot of these questions revolve around community service or community, or more about ourselves. How much do we know ourselves in order to stand there and, you know, be asked questions on the spot? So as I was watching, I was like, wow, that's tough. You know, I would hate to be in her shoes. And then what I took away from it, it was I was really afraid of the Q&A, and I was like, there's no way I can do that. And I didn't trust in myself until I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance. I went on stage. I got over my fear of failure and everything. And for me, when I was on that stage, I was really scared, but I was like, you know what, no matter what the result was, what I have done is being here on this stage, no matter how scared I am. So by just simply being here, I was already better than one person, whoever I was yesterday. You know, that scaredy little girl, just like, I don't want to do this. So that's one thing I took away from the pageant, is to learn to trust in myself and just enjoy the experience, no matter what happens in the end. If I make mistakes, so what? It's part of life. So,
that's right. And I love you ladies. I think you're incredible. It's easy to see why you are part of the Miss VietFest Royal Court. You are all winners. Love you ladies so much. And we are already heading towards the end of our show. So I'll give you each a moment to wrap up. Anything you want to share with the viewers, any last words you want to leave us with. So Cindy, let's start with you.
Well, if you're starting in a pageant, I think you should just stay focused, be yourself, and try your best, and don't be nervous, and don't be afraid of what people think of you.
Much agreed. That's very good advice. Love it. And Sherry, let's move to you.
I just want to thank everybody who has supported Miss VietFest, PageantLIVE included, and hopefully Miss VietFest will get bigger from here, and it'll bring more, not just people within the Vietnamese community, but those who are not familiar with our culture to come and join VietFest and see the girls next year. And thank you for your support.
Aw, thank you for joining us. And Natasha, let's move to you.
I just want everyone to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Miss VietFest Pageant, and our website is vietfest.com/pageant to keep up with all of our appearances and all of our activities that are going on.
Wonderful. And Aiden, any last words you want to leave us with?
I was like to say thank you all for tuning in and watching PageantLIVE.com, and don't forget what Natasha just said. Follow us at Miss VietFest Pageant, or you can find out more information about us on www.vietfest.com/pageant. And we'll be doing a lot more future events, so tune in for more awesome pictures. Thank you.
Woo, ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for having us.
Woo, you made our first show of the season go off with a bang. Woo, we're excited. Be sure to check us out at PageantLIVE.com. Thanks to the viewers for tuning in. And until next week, everyone, be sure to shine bright like a diamond. Woo, bye.